Hey everyone, it's Kristen Burke, and welcome to my presentation of my project. So, the project title is Pro Pour Bartender Training Liquor Cost Reduction Plan for Riverside Tavern. The premise of my project is I'm working for the management and ownership team at a mid-sized local restaurant that has been losing money since 2020, owing in large part to the economic shifts during the pandemic, and then owing an even larger part to the drastic staff turnover, bartender turnover, and the resulting inconsistencies in training and experience backgrounds of those bartenders. So, my target is to reduce liquor costs by preventing waste, and the bartenders are primarily responsible for handling liquor in the restaurant, and so the training is targeted to them. Training and all of the problem solving is targeted um, toward the bartenders. So I'll just open up my action map really quickly. I want to say that I really enjoy the action map approach. I like this problem solving kind of mentality when it comes to dealing with clients. I think that thinking about the problems they have with employee behavior is a much more effective way to address the problems than just arbitrarily making a training. And so I did enjoy that, and I learned a lot from the Kathy Moore readings and the practices. So this is the main page of my action map, and it just kind of identifies the major behaviors that we want bartenders to be doing in order to decrease liquor costs. And I kind of broke down each one and identified some potential uh, solutions to these problems, things like training and also things like procedure changes, job aids, and just sort of protocol improvements. I broke down the action map more in more detail in this outline and highlighted areas where training and job aids and content could potentially help. And then I outlined the content that would address each area of behavior that targeted behavior, outline the evaluation methods, and then here are some of the actual materials that I created for the program. It is an incomplete program, as you can see. I did initially plan to try to make something for each one of these, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it, unfortunately, but maybe I'll return to it one day. Um, my branching scenario I made in Storyline. I don't know if I've used Storyline. It's very challenging. It's very difficult compared to Rise. It is tricky, and that is why I did it, because I do want to get better at using it. But man, it's frustrating. But at any rate, I think that the branching scenario is effective. I've got people, bartenders choosing which drink they want to make, and then selecting the correct tool, the drink, and then the correct method for mixing it. So, and these things are important in a bar and restaurant situation. Again, bartenders are responsible for handling alcohol, and if there is a liquor cost problem, it is most likely because of bartender behavior. And so, even though this seems like, oh, it's silly because we're just going over recipes, and it can make an enormous difference having bartenders pouring correct amounts and pouring and mixing in such a way that the customers are pleased with the results. And so, I do think it's valuable and helpful to have this kind of training. Um, Not super happy with how my branching scenario looks. I think I'm taking the graphic design class starting next week, and I'm really hoping that that helps me refine my design high because I struggle with it. I get a nice picture in my mind of what I want something to look like and then have a really tricky time executing it. And so I'm working on that, and I do hope and believe that the graphic design class will help. So in addition to that, I've got a couple of other links here to different documents and activities, facilitator documents that I designed for, let's see if I can see some of these, that I designed for additional training for bartenders. They're not as fully developed as the branching scenario, but I think they are valuable as well in terms of just getting practice and meeting those expectations. So I guess that's about it. I appreciate you so much for spending this time watching this probably quite boring presentation. But I'm looking forward to seeing your projects as well. And I hope that you've had a good experience in the class, and I hope to run into you all again sometime. Take care. Bye.